So in this episode of Cody's Garage, we're going to be putting disc brakes on the front of the 52 Chevy here. I bought a kit that said it was bolt-on. Well, it's not just bolt-on and go. So I don't know if it's just my car or what's going on here. But let's get into it, and I'll show you what's going on. And it took some finagling on the driver's side. I got it, but the passenger side's turning out to be more of a hassle than what it should be. So let me show you that. Let me show you what's going on.
Let me show you my countryside through these old headlights. We can take this road as far as you want to go. I'll show you how a country mile can take us all night. Feeling higher than a bull's tail up an old dirt road. I ain't gonna run or hide. We can let the fire burn wild. That's just my countryside.
All right, so we're over here at the driver's side. It is a kit from POL. This side took quite a bit of finagling. You got your bracket all the way in the back there. You got your caliper. You got your drilled and slotted rotors and everything. And all the way back here, you got to put a bolt backwards. You got to space out some things, do a bunch of different things. I'll show you on the other side why you got to do that. But yeah, this side actually turned out to be the easier side. So let me show you what's going on with the passenger side. All right. So here is the old drum brakes. This is the passenger side now. I've actually got my my hub off there. Everything else off there. That's all the grease that I took off. But there's the old hub. I've actually got the race that came out with the with everything. Them bearings are completely shot. That's part of the reason that I'm doing this. But my theory is if I have it apart, might as well make it better. So that's what we're doing. To take it off, all you do is take that bolt, and then that one out, and the whole backing plate comes off, and you can just swing him over to the side over here and put everything together, leave your lines hooked up, because, well, I don't think that's going to come apart very easy, because, you know, GM brake lines. And these being 70 years old on this side is not, it's not great. So, yeah, I'll get this apart, and I'll show you exactly what's going on from there. So I got the spindle off, everything off the spindle and everything cleaned up. I did paint everything with this Rust-Oleum truck bed liner. It's not too bad of a thing. It's rust and corrosion defense, impact scratch resistant, durable non-skid finish in black, trusted protection. So it worked decent on the other side. So put it over here. It's not going to hurt anything if it gets a little rusted and stuff, but I don't want, you know, all of this is 70 years old. I don't want any more rust on it than what I have to. So this has a what do you call it? I can't even remember. Where's the other part? There we go. This has a spacer on it. Sits about like that. And it comes with a new spacer. Sits everything out 3/8 of an inch off of that. And make sure that you don't forget your dust cap. You don't want to forget that. So, and don't mind all the dirt that came off the bottom of the car here. Cleaned everything. I'll clean that up. But, yeah. So, let me see if the other spacer will fit. All right. Got the collar on here. I got the dust shield on. The collar on. And it turned out pretty nice paint and everything. But like I said, got the collar on. Got the dust shield. Next, you got to put your bracket on. It comes with these cool little spacers here that go on. If I can't do it on camera here. There we go. Go on just like that. And this one, I believe, I'll see here in a second, but I believe that one goes on backward. So let me get the bracket and I'll show you that part. All right, so here's the bracket installed. Your caliper goes here. Everything sits in here. Your rotor obviously goes on your spindle like that. But you can put this bolt in normally. English is hard. And then this bolt here, you got to put backwards. I should have gotten a little bit longer one. It's just barely in the nylock, but it is, so I'm going to leave it. And then you got your two steering knuckle bolts down here. This one here goes all the way through. And this one here also goes all the way through. I actually had to go get different bolts for this one and this one.
It's been like 2 weeks since I went and got those. I don't remember what those are. I think this is 1 5/8. This one's 2 inch, but don't quote me on that. They're 7/16. They're actually 7/16 14 because that's what my local hardware store had. These ones I believe are 7/16 20, the ones that come in the kit. But unfortunately, there was no 20, so I had to get 14 or 18. I don't remember. Like I said, that was 2 weeks ago. But yeah, so this is in. This is solid. I just really wrenched down on these, and there's an acronym for that, but you know, this is a family channel. So, but anyway, really wrench down on these, get these as tight as you possibly can, and in the nylock, make sure it's in the nylon. And like I said, we'll put the rotor over. I'll just dry fit it to show you guys, and then I'll pack the bearings and everything off camera. But the rotor goes on the spindle here, and then your caliper goes on here. Real quick here, while I got you here, this spacer actually sits your wheels out another 3/8 of an inch, which I'm running 14s on the front, so it's really not going to hurt anything. It's actually got a bigger lip than the original one, which is right here. I didn't clean it up or nothing, but it's right here. It's like I said, it's got a much smaller lip actually for your drum brakes there. But this one here has a thicker lip, and your bearing, the cone goes out like usual because it actually sits in the race, and that sits on there perfect, all the way back flush. So it sits on there just like that. Your rotor goes on. Well, obviously this goes in your rotor, and then your grease seal, which I'll show you here in a little bit. But just in case you need to know, the bearing is a China bearing. No, where is the number on here? HL. And then right there, 16, here, let me see if I can spin it for you. I lied, that's an L. L68149. So if you need an inner bearing for this kit, that is your inner bearing. And then I'll show you the outer bearing when we get to that. But let me go get the rotor, and I'll show you what I mean by this sits in the race, and that goes on there. I'll dry fit everything on camera here, and then I actually pack the bearings and stuff, show you how I'm doing that. But final assembly I'll put together off the car because it's much easier, or off camera because it's much easier. And then just show you the final product then. So yep, let's go get everything dry fitted. All right, so here is the rotor. As you guys have probably seen, they are drilled and slotted. Not sure the brand name, not sure any of that. POL took care of all of that. These are 7/16 20 studs like the ones I put in before, just shorter. We'll have to eventually upgrade to longer because not that I'm going to race it or nothing, but just a peace of mind. But for now, these are what's going to stay on here. Here's the outer race, and then here, good lord, these things are heavy. Right in here is where your bigger bearing goes. This slides right on to the spindle there. Now that I put the bearing in there. Once again, we're just dry fitting everything. Hey, look at that. I was able to do it with one hand. All right. Come on. Sit up in there. There we go. You see how it sat straight back? Oh, it's got a little indent in there. Just going to rest that there. Get the outer bearing here. There's your outer bearing. Let me see if I can find a number here. Get in the light here. LM11949. So that's that. Castle nut and everything there. All right, so we're gonna pick him up, slide him on there. Got the front bearing in, and the washers. So I'm using the one that actually comes with the car, not really the kit, but because this one has a bigger slot to it. And because of that, it doesn't wiggle as much in this key slot here. So I'm using these ones because it's just a little bit more peace of mind. The other ones feel real chintzy. So I recommend you do the same on your car, but once again, you guys can do what you want, but that's what I'm doing. So, and then your castle nut goes on the outside here. And for whatever reason, I don't think the castle nut that they send you in the kit is the correct thread because it won't thread onto the spindle here. This one's a little tight. These always are, well, mine both are, but goes on This is the original one, by the way, if you don't know. I'm not going to force the wrong thread on there. But yeah, that's the concept for that. Like I said, I got to get all of that shirt up and everything. But yeah, that's pretty much the concept for that. So let me get the caliper on there. I'll show you exactly how that goes on. And from POL here, the calipers come fully loaded. So they have cardboard in here just to hold all the pads and everything in. But I'm going to get this up here. These are your slides. Let me see if I can get him out without taking these pads out. Typically you can, but this one's real tight. There we go. So these are your slides. They go right in here. Screw in, if you can tell. Those are threaded. So these thread right in here. And that's what the caliper actually slides back and forth on. So let me get that set up there. And then I'll show you guys how that works. Alright, so I'm running into a little problem here with the POL calipers and these brackets. I fixed it on the other side, and I'm going to show you how I fixed it. But first, I'm going to show you what the problem is. So this slide will not go any further because the caliper is actually hitting that bolt. So that means that the spacer's too long. And those are the provided spacers. It might be right for your application, but if you can't tell, you can't see, those spacers in there, right there, they, for my application, are not correct. So I'm going to have to take this back apart and do what I did on the other side. I wanted to try and use the fancy stuff over here, but, you know, can't have everything fancy. But I'll show you exactly what I did to fix that. And you might have to do that on your application. This stuff might actually work right out of the box. But because my stuff's got to be different, it doesn't work right out of the box. So like I said, I'll show you my solution for that. I came up with something that no one else is going to come up with, right? Super technical. Washers. So I'll show you what I did on the other side to get it to work, because I kind of had the same issue. But these washers, I about said shims, but these washers are actually that thickness. If you can see that, that's actually going to bring it in that thickness. So it's actually going to get it to where we need it to be. So I'll put these in, and I've been putting 2 in. Once again, I don't remember the thickness. I went to Ace 2 weeks ago, talked to a couple people, said hi, you know, small town, and forgot what I was doing, walked around for 20 minutes, and then, you know, found a box of washers. I'm like, okay, that'll work. But anyway, I'll get those in, and I'll show you guys that. So I'm going to end part 1 right here. I've got the rotor on, and well, dry fitted, and I've got, let me see if I can show you here. I've got 2 spacers in there, took it up to 3, dropped it to 2, brought it back, did everything the same as the driver's side. I've been over there about 20 times, I've been back, tried to look at everything, and these slides still are not lining up. So I gotta figure out something, because what's happening here is, like I showed you earlier, no matter what I do, this caliper is hitting the bolt there. So I've got some finagling to do. I might go get a carriage bolt and just put that in there and call it good, but I don't have any at the moment, so you know, there's that. But yeah, this POL kit is definitely not just bolt on and go. It's really not like it says it is. At least for my car, it's not. But yeah, so I gotta modify this and do a couple other things. Stay tuned for part 2, and I'll show you how I fixed that on part 2. So, short story long, it's actually turning out to be more of a chore than what I thought it was going to be. Not that I'm afraid of work, I'm really not, but when you pay $800, $900, $1,000, depending on the options you get, I paid the latter. But, you know, when you pay good money for something, you expect it to work. And unfortunately, it is taking quite a bit of modifications. I don't know if it's just the fact that I have the 2-door sedan version, not the Bel Air. It was actually for a 49 to 52 Fleetline Styleline Deluxe, which is what this is. So I don't know, but anyway, it's going to take more than time that I got today. It's actually taken quite a few days. That's why I've changed clothes. I've done a couple other things, but you know, working on it in between my day job and everything else. So when I finally figure out what's going on with the passenger side here, I'll let you guys know. But until then, this is part 1. And like usual, thank a first responder for me. God bless and have a great day, guys.